Hello and welcome to this tutorial on the new promotion tab in the instadub software. You can find the promo tab via the menu icon here. If your menu is looking a little bit different, it could be because you are in the promo view. It's a reduced view with the more complex features of the program hidden from view, allowing you to run a promotion action, image upload actions, viewing the accounts and stats. So this promo view is really just for new users who kind of want to hide some of the complexity for now. So going back to the promo tab, we can see we have the standard screen here. The way the promo module works is you enter some keywords, hashtags, you enter similar accounts, and you enter some explore locations, which is squished in a bit here, but I've tried to fit everything into the video recorder. So, right, firstly, for using this module, you'll need to have an account in the software. If you don't have an account in yet, you can add it, and more information on that is in the Add Account video tutorial. That should be in the Getting Started playlist. So I'm going to use my Root.js account here, and I'm going to run a promotion action as if I was promoting our SoundCloud Manager software. So I'm going to enter in some hashtags. SoundCloud. You can enter with the hash if you want, but you don't need to. So we've put in some music genres here. Let's add some similar accounts. Again, you can enter the URL. You can enter just the username. I'll just enter some random things here, I guess they exist. And you can also enter some explore locations. I'll just drag the program out and bring it over for you. Now, an explore location is a specific location specified by Instagram, which will include images that were taken at or around that location. You cannot just enter an address here. It has to be a specific explore location URL or the ID. Now, if you don't know any, which you probably don't off the top of your head, we can scrape them here. So let's say I want to do London, UK. It will then tell us the scrape is running in the background, and here we go. These are all Instagram locations. So here there's a London, United Kingdom, and here you can just see cropped a little bit the explore location, and they've given us Brixton, which is a part of London, Heathrow Airport in London, and various locations that have matched. The ones at the top will be better matches, and the ones at the bottom will be less. So here we've got a scaffolding company, Euro car parts. So probably better to stick towards the top. You can multi-select by using the control key. So we stick in OK, and here we can see we have our explore locations input. So I'll just bring the program back into view, and I'll drag that back over a little bit. So these are our inputs that will be used by the program to run some default searches. Searches will run based on your keywords, based on your similar accounts and your explore locations. The program will scrape a few images and profiles from these searches and then will action upon them. So here we can specify the actions we want to run. I'm going to run a follow and a like. You are able to comment on any images returned. However, I will give you a little warning that commenting on images does require some thought about what you are doing. You don't want to be just commenting on lots and lots of images with random, nonsensical comments, as it is, well, it's spamming is what it is. And annoying users is not a good way to interact with them. Annoying users is a good way to generate complaints. So if you don't really know what you're doing with commenting, I would recommend, if you're new to the program and new to automation bots in general, just leave it unchecked for now. We can always come back in and set it up at a later date once you've read a bit about it and you've learned things such as tokens and spin tax and ways to make your comments applicable to the image or the profile you're posting to, and you have some generic comments which should pretty much work for the images you're commenting on. I'm not going to talk any more about commenting. If you want to know more about it, check the commenting tutorial. It works the same way. You have the comment control where you enter your comments, load the old ones, tokens. So if you want more on that, see the commenting module. I'm trying to keep this tutorial basic and mainly on the promotion module. So if we are going to be following and liking, we need to set limits on how many we are going to perform a day. Currently we're set to 80 follows and 200 likes. There's some defaults we can do here. You can do a called normal, aggressive and safe. They're just names given to it, they don't really mean anything. So aggressive could be 300 follows a day with 500 likes. Normal, 150 follows a day, 300 likes, and safe, which is 80 follows and about 200 likes a day. Now before you start writing to me or posting to the forum, what are the best values to use? There is no best. Before you ask me what is the limit, there is really no limit. Some of you will have asked me, what is the highest I can set it and be safe? Well, setting it the highest you can and be safe, that's kind of an oxymoron. The limits, they change. You used to be able to follow 800 a day with no trouble, and now you can't. So perhaps at the moment you could follow 200 a day and be okay, and the limits change next week, and now you're not okay. If you're following on a one-off action, you might be able to get away with 400, but that doesn't mean you can then do 400 every day, 7 days a week, 30 days a month, 365 days a year. So do think about it, and just because you have an automation bot doesn't mean you need to do as many as you can, as fast as you can. Better to do a little bit every day and keep everything safe and under the limits and not in Instagram's view. So personally I would go for safe, however you can go for what you want and you can modify them here as well. So go back to 80, 200. So also we can specify an effective or wider promo mode. Effective, that would be, from our results here, if we perform a hashtag search on SoundCloud, we will get an image. Now, that image was posted by a profile. So if we are doing effective promo mode, then we would like that image and we would follow the profile that posted it. So that user would be notified that we followed them and we liked their image. For similar accounts, perhaps we are going to scrape the followers of. So the results of a followers of search is a profile. So if we are doing effective, we will follow the profile and then we will scrape the most recent image of them and like it. So again, they'll be notified we've followed them and we've liked their image. So it's a way of giving multiple notifications to a single profile, which will hopefully get our account noticed. Hopefully it will pique their interest to check out your account, and if your images and your account seems like something they're interested in, then they'll follow you back and start interacting with your images, which is what we want. However, that does mean we will be only interacting with, say, 80 different accounts with a follow and then 200 with the likes. Whereas if we're doing, that would be, we are interacting with 80 accounts from the follow, which will be duplicated with the like, and then 120, which would only be the like. Whereas if we do a wider search, the searches that return a profile, such as a similar account, followers of, we will follow them. We will not like their recent image. For a search that returns a image, we will like the image, but we will not also follow them. That means we will be interacting with 80 accounts for our follow and 200 accounts for our likes, so 280. So it's wider in the fact that we are interacting with more unique accounts a day. What is best to use? Well, it all depends really. There isn't that much in it. Personally, I tend to go for effective. You go for what you like. So, just a quick recap. We have specified our inputs, which are our keywords and our similar accounts and our explore locations. This will be used to perform searches, which will return images and profiles. We can specify what actions we will perform on those results. Follow, like, comment optional. The others are also optional. We don't have to follow and we don't have to like. We've also set our limits on what we're going to do daily and specified our promo mode to be effective. Down here, we can see additional actions that may be created. Create a daily stats action, create an unlike action, and create an unfollow action. These will create separate actions in the processor. The daily stats action will run every day, every 24 hours, and it will scrape details about our account, which will fill in the accounts view here. And if you go to the stats view, you'll see there's more details here for you. Again, it's all a bit crunched in because I've made my window smaller. So the daily stats, probably a good thing to run. And unfollow. As we're going to be following 80 accounts a day, eventually we will hit the Instagram following limit, and then you won't be able to follow anymore. So it's a good idea to unfollow the accounts once you've followed them after a set period. You don't want to follow someone on a Monday and unfollow them on Tuesday, because if that user doesn't check their Instagram until Wednesday, they see the notification, someone followed me, wait a minute, they're not following me anymore, what are they doing? So they're unlikely to follow you back if they notice that. Perhaps you do not want to unfollow accounts that have followed you back. So you followed and liked their media, they noticed this, they followed you back, and you want to keep following them. That's another option that can be set. So unfollow, like create daily stats, I would recommend to create for your promo action. Unlike, there isn't actually any limits to liking images, but some people, they don't want to have a huge amount of likes associated with their account. If we are following 200 a day, in a week that's 1,400. In 10 days that's 2,000. In 100 days that's 20,000 images we've liked, which starts to get pretty excessive. So if you want to be unliking some of them, the oldest images that you have liked first, then you can create an unlike action. So finally, we have the filter. Filtering, it does make the action a bit more complicated. I'll go through it very briefly now. If you want more information on every single option, then do check the filtering tutorial. It can be found on YouTube. You can get more information from the forum, and you can find information in the documentation from the website. I'll bring it up, and you can see here the image user filter. So firstly, it loads up the image filter. So perhaps you do not want to like any, or you do not want to process any images that have a minimum or maximum number of likes. So perhaps you think if the image has less than 10 likes, that perhaps it's a low traffic account, the image isn't of good quality, and you don't want to be associated with it. Perhaps you want to limit the account to, say, 500. The thinking being, if an account has a lot of likes, or the image has a lot of likes, then perhaps it's a high traffic account, which would be great if they did follow you back. However, when they have so much traffic, the chances of being noticed perhaps are reduced. You have to come up with your own ideas here, but an account which is active, an account which has some traffic, perhaps you have a better chance of your interactions with them being noticed and getting a follow back, rather than a high-flying, trend-setting account that has hundreds of thousands of likes. They just aren't checking their notifications, and you're not going to be noticed. Some of the filters you want to be careful using. The filtering information is used in the main application, where perhaps it makes more sense. For example, days since image uploaded. If you want an image that has only been uploaded in the last 7 days, some of the default searches will be returning images which are over 7 days old, and you will just be ignoring lots of images that the program will be finding for you. So before you go crazy with the filtering, do just be sure that you understand what you are doing. Another one people want to use perhaps is ignore words. You want to ignore all not safe for work, all porn, sex-related keywords, so fill them in here. If the keywords you're searching for perhaps have dual meaning, again, put the words to ignore here, then all the images that have that word in the description or the caption will be ignored. Include words. A great way to find images that matches your include words. You can really focus in. However, you'll be ignoring lots and lots of images that don't include it. You do have a limited amount of requests that you can make to Instagram. You can't just be making thousands upon hundreds of thousands or millions of requests. Well, the program can't make them on your behalf without having a rate limiting where Instagram just says, yep, that's enough. You've been hitting our servers too hard, too long, too fast. We're going to block you for a temporary period. If you are too restrictive in your filtering, if you are too restrictive in your include words, perhaps you're only matching one image in 100. Perhaps you're only matching one image in 1,000. So if you want to get 80 images for a day, that means you need to check 80,000 images and ignore 79,920 images. If you filter, you might be having to make 3 or 4 requests to the Instagram server per filter, per check. So your 80,000 is now coming up to nearly 500,000 requests in doing this daily. And that will get you a temp block. There's nothing the program can do. You're telling the program to make these requests. So do think about it. Give it a go, see how it works, but do monitor it. The program really is a framework for you to build your actions, to monitor them, to analyze them, to tweak them, to get the best responses from it. So yeah, do be aware of what you're doing. Yep, ignore if the account follows you. You don't want to be liking an image if the account already follows you. It's a waste of your daily like. Unique accounts. Let's say I have searched for hashtag hip hop and there's a hip-hop artist who has just posted 100 images today, and I have scraped those 100 images. I don't really want to be liking 100 images of the same account, and so I can specify unique account. That means I will only interact with one image of the account. If the search has returned 100 images of the account that I'm going to be following based on the returns of the hashtag, well, scrap that. If I'm going to be liking the images returned from the hashtag, I want to be liking this artist, this profile once. I'll get the one notification and hopefully they'll see it. I don't want to be hitting them multiple times. So that's also a good filter to have. Maybe you do want to hit them if someone is being returned, if he's uploading lots and lots of content for the hashtags you are searching for, then they are really interested in that hashtag and they'd be a great person for you to follow back, and maybe they're going to notice if you like 100 of their images. Include locations, ignore locations. When an image is taken and uploaded to Instagram, the location data is saved. People don't really understand how this works. If you're searching for hashtags, hip-hop, and then limiting my locations to London, hip-hop is a popular genre worldwide. I mean, you're going to have hundreds of thousands of people from the Americas, from Europe, from Asia, from Australia, uploading images with the hashtag hip-hop. I'm going to be ignoring all of them unless they include a location. The image was tagged with the location data, which include London. I mean, you're going to be ignoring 99.99% of images. Again, we have that filtering issue. So you may be asking, if it's no good, don't use it. Why is it here? Because this does make sense if you are building your own searches in the full application. Ignore locations work better. Perhaps you really want to, your searches are returning only a handful of locations, and some of them you want to ignore. I mean, ignore is always better because that means you're going to include 99%, but you just really do not want to action on that 1%. So if you're thinking of doing anything, think of ignore to add rather than include. So this is the image filtering screen, and I've just seen the time. I've been talking for 22 minutes. I really better get a move on, otherwise I'm going to break the YouTube limit. User filter, again, we can filter the users we go into action on. We do not want to action on any user that has less than 100 followers. If they have less than 100 followers, maybe they're a fake account, maybe they are just no good. Waste of our time. Maximum, and if they have more than 500,000, they are a main account. They're not going to notice little old me actioning on them. Their notifications are going to be going through a pretty pace, and we're going to get lost in the crowd. Similar things, we've got a followers ratio. It's a good one that perhaps an account has 500, that they have 500 followers and they're following 4 people. They are never going to follow you. But perhaps they've got 500,000 followers and they're also following 490,000 people. I think Instagram allows varying following limits depending on your followers. So we can set a ratio here of 1-to-1. So I mean, if they're following 10 and they've got 10 followers, then they 100 follow back ratio. If they're following 1,000 and got 1,000 followers, again, they follow everyone. So maybe you can experiment with this and find out a good ratio which works. How many images have they uploaded? When did they last post? Are they active? Sex filter, gender filter. Are they male? Are they female? This is not perfect. Instagram does not give this information. It does not tell you what the account is. However, the user may have entered their name. If they entered their name as a female name, we can scrape the female name, and the program provides a list of, I think it's 3,000 male names and 3,000 female names. However, these are basically English names. There's probably some duplication in some of the European languages, but they are mainly English names. If there is a typical German name, which doesn't exist in English, it's not going to be matched. If you can find lists of male, female names for your country, you can add them to the program. Details of that is on the forum. Come to the forum, ask the question, you can find that information. I'm going to have to be quick here. Again, if you are from Asia or have a different script, the Cyrillic script for the Russian users and some of the Eastern European countries, if you are using a Hindi script, an Urdu script, a Thai script, you can add your own script into the program and it will match those names. Well, it will attempt to. I'm not sure how the right to left languages will work, perhaps for Chinese names and Hebrew, but